Welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. This is part 1 of an enchanting African tale of Ami, a fat girl who wished to experience love, but in return she was mocked by her village. Look at her. The elephant is coming. The children's voices rang out like sharp arrows as Ami walked past the village well, her large body moving slowly, her heart heavy with every step. Their laughter was very loud than the village drums, and it followed her everywhere she went. No matter how hard she tried to ignore them, the insult clung to her like a shadow. The village of Haburi, where everything was a topic for discussion. The women gathered daily pounding fufu while talking about who was doing what. Ami knew what they whispered about her. Ami is too big, they would say. How will she find a husband? She will crush him before the wedding night. Even the village elders, wise as they were, whispered and laughed. Ami had been big since she was a child, and as she grew older her size increased. Her mother Adroa often scolded her for eating too much, but no matter what Ami did, her body size did not change. "Why are you like this, Ami?" her mother would ask after tying her cloth around her waist tightly. "Look at all the other girls, slim, beautiful, ready for marriage. But you," she would trail off her head, shaking her head. Ami knew it wasn't easy for her mother as the words in the village spread like wildfire. Her father, Kwesi, was a man of few words, but his silence was very loud. The worst part wasn't the gossip, but the loneliness. Ami was 23 now, and not once had a man shown interest on her. The village dances, where young men and women met and flirted, were torture for her. While other girls danced with their sweethearts, Ami stayed in the shadows, all far from the crowd. No one ever approached her. Ami never dreamt of love. How could she, when no one looks at her? It was market day. Ami was on a day to sell some yams her family had harvested. Her large basket balanced on her wide hips. As she passed a group of men, she heard laughter. It was louder and crueler than before. "Hey, look at this one. Are you sure you are going to sell yams and not eat them all?" One of them shouted, and they laughed harder. It didn't stop there. They continued to mock her. Ami the elephant, Ami the whale. Ami could not take it anymore. Tears welled up in her eyes. Once she was out of their sight, she ran to the forest and sat under a large tree, tears rolling down her eyes. As she wept, a thought began to form in her mind. Maybe she was too big. Maybe no one would ever love her. Maybe she wasn't meant to find happiness. She felt so tired of being Ami the lonely girl. The sun began to set, casting long shadows through the trees, but Ami sat there letting the cool breeze dry her tears. She stared up at the sky, wondering if the stars ever felt as small and insignificant as she did. Just when she felt like the world would swallow her, a soft voice whispered in her heart, maybe there is more to me than what they see." Ami didn't know where the thought came from, but it was enough to make her stand up, wipe her eyes, and head back home. She hoped that someday someone would see her for who she really is, and though she didn't know it yet, that someone was closer than she thought.